Blue Goblin here. Thank you for joining me for my comic book review for the end of January 2014. I guess you can call this the end of January / beginning of February 2014. Got a stack of books here to review and let's see if I'm doing this on time this time. 2 independents and the rest are, you guessed it, Marvel and DC. DC gave me a ton of books this week, both quantity-wise and price range-wise. But we're going to start with the independents, run through Marvel, and end it with DC. Alright, starting off independent, we're starting off with Broadsword Comics. We're starting with Tarot, Witch of the Black Rose, issue number 84. Yeah, yeah, this book is plentiful with boobies. Obviously that's one of the strong points of the series. In this story, Tarot is called to Austria by a child, and the book is called Night of the Krampus. Now what the Krampus is, it's like a myth. Like the Krampus are creatures that come and take naughty children on a specific day on the calendar. I forgot which day they used. But they come and take naughty children away. They take children while their parents are intoxicated by some sort of spell that they use to actually get the parents to cooperate and surrender the children to them. And Tarot, at first, she has trouble believing are the Krampus actually real, because it's a myth. She doesn't actually know if they're real or not. So she goes ahead and conjures a teleportation spell, and she goes to Austria to track down this child who summoned her. Unfortunately, the Krampus are indeed real. But this is a kind of a depressing issue. You know, Tarot tries her best to fend off a spell that they're trying to cast on her. And unfortunately, she loses Will, and of course she loses her clothes. I mean, it's almost like Captain Kirk on Star Trek. He always had to take his shirt off. Tarot's always got to take her bra off. But it's because she succumbs to the spell that they place on her. It doesn't end well. I'm not going to give everything away, but the storytelling in here is still really kind of depressing. And this is one of those few times where we see Tarot truly fail at something, and it's really kind of sad. I mean, the storytelling is there. I mean, if you can look past the beautiful bosoms, giggity, if you can look past that and look at the storytelling, you'd be surprised at how good some of these stories can actually be. But this one was one of the sadder ones, and I actually enjoyed it. It was really good. Say what you want to about Tarot. Boobies. I like boobies. But say what you want to other than that about Tarot. It's still an interesting series. Fun read. Despite what I just said about the sad storytelling. Moving on to IDW, we're looking at Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, issue number 30. Kevin Eastman still doing a great job with this. I like that cover with Michelangelo sitting on the tree. This, I posted on how much I like this on Twitter, and I stand by that. This was really good. This issue, we take a much wanted break from the action. It's time we took some time to get some more emotional storytelling done. You know, how's Leonardo doing ever since they brought him back to the farm, to April's parents' farmland, stuff like that. You know, what's going on with Leonardo, what's going on with Splinter and the rest of the Turtles. You know, what's going on with April and Casey. They use this issue just to, you know, take a breather, relax, and just let the storytelling flow. And that's what this book was. This was very good. Raphael shined very well in this book, and thank God for that, because he's always been my favorite turtle. But to see what Raphael goes through, Raphael really has some good moments in here. Probably not the best, Probably not the best moments. Those are reserved for probably, arguably, Leonardo and Splinter. They're visited by somebody. Tang Shin, Leonardo's mother, Splinter's late wife. Remember, in this incarnation of the Turtles, they weren't... The Turtles and Splinter are actually reincarnated from a previous life. Hamato Yoshi and his wife Tang Shin and their 4 sons actually existed a couple hundred years ago, and they're reincarnated in the Turtles and the Rat. You know, and Donatello, I believe, is finally coming to grips with that. But the storytelling in here was very well done. There were a lot of moments where you didn't really need words to tell the story and what was going on. It was very well done. Have the Turtles gained a new ally? I don't know. I'm not going to spoil everything. But most of the dialogue does come from Michelangelo, and it's really refreshing to see just how much Michelangelo is growing. He's not being the dumb one in this issue. Just really good stuff. I enjoyed the hell out of this. This was a solid read. Fantastic stuff. Taking a break from the action to get us more emotionally connected to the characters. It's very well done. And the cliffhanger was really nice too. Just fantastic stuff. I loved it. Moving on to Marvel with Guardians of the Galaxy number 11 point now. Yeah, it's been renumbered back to number 1, I guess, for this, and then they'll go to 12, 13, who the fuck knows, who the fuck cares. Brian Michael Bendis, Sara Pichelli. Fantastic stuff. This was a good read. This is part 1 of The Trial of Jean Grey. Now, in this issue, I'm going to try my best not to give everything away. But Star-Lord, good old Peter Quill, has a little bit of a run-in with a certain someone with a certain something that's disguised themselves as a certain someone, and it leads to certain awkward moments. Gamora and Angela, I love their, I wouldn't say love-hate relationship, more like I don't like you, but I'll try to respect you relationship. I like that. It's almost like you could see that they're trying to respect each other, but at the same time, they're just, it's like, and I like that. Give us more of that stuff. This was good. I love the stuff with the interaction with the other characters, especially Rocket Raccoon and everybody. But I think Rocket Raccoon was at his best when he was trying to talk with Tony Stark. It was really, really good. But all this basically was the Shi'ar and all the other members of Star-Lord's father's conference, or whatever the hell it's called. They have decided to bring Jean Grey to trial. And they're even saying, like, hey, look, Jean Grey did this, but not this Jean Grey. This is the Jean Grey of the past. And Gladiator is like, the crimes were committed by Jean Grey. We still have to bring her in. I'm like, oh, okay. But what this basically was the storytelling on the side of the Guardians that led to them getting to Earth to try and warn the X-Men. It ended the same way the last issue of All New X-Men ended, with the Guardians showing up and they're saying, shit, we're late. I mean, it was good. It was really, really good. I enjoyed it. It was fun. Some decent action, some really good storytelling, some really nice drama, and some good comedy where it was needed. I loved it. It was solid. Can't really say nothing bad about it unless you want to go into minor nitpicking, which I don't want to get into. It's good. Very, very good stuff. I love it. Moving on to the Superior Spider-Man number 26. Dan Slott, Humberto Ramos, Rodriguez, Marcos Martin, all those people who work on this. I mean, y'all are trying your best, and look, Dan Slott, Mr. Slott, I know chances are you may or may not be watching this video, but you are one of my subscribers. For that, I do thank you. And I also want to, once again, thank you for sending me your best personal wishes for when I was at a really big low in my life, in my personal life. For that, I do thank you. But allow me to be honest with you, my friend. I'm really getting burnt out on this Superior Spider-Man bullshit. Thankfully, the series is nearing its end, and we're going back to Peter Parker coming back as the Amazing Spider-Man. We all knew it was going to happen anyway, so I'm not going to bitch about it being spoiled, because we knew it was coming. Why spoil? It's like you're spoiling something we already know is happening anyway. Peter's coming back. And I liked, they touched on, you know, last issue had Peter's consciousness coming back after saying he was laying low for so long. And this issue actually explains a little bit. Explains a little bit on how he was able to come back. I'm not gonna give that away. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, that seems logical. I get that. But the Goblin War is what's really selling me. You know, Norman and Kingsley are just pulling out all their stops and everything. You know, Norman actually comes up with a pretty good plan on how to settle things between him and Kingsley. Instead of having, you know, gang versus gang, it's just one-on-one. Just me and you. Goblin to goblin. Forget that. Let's just gather all our men up and it's just you and me, one-on-one. Whoever, the winner, gets everybody. Gets all the gang members. Claims everything. And it was brutal. I mean, some really decent action, some good stuff. But, oh, I don't want to give away the twist ending. It was really, really good. The goblins were more entertaining than Otto was. I mean, of course, that's not saying much. The goblins were the best part of this book, in my opinion. You know, fuck Otto. But the thing is, Norman, Kingsley, one-on-one, Green versus Hobgoblin. Somebody thinks they win. The fight comes to a conclusion. I'm not going to spoil who wins. But when they think they won, turns out they may not have won. Fantastic cliffhanger. It's a twist I've seen done before, but you know what? Fuck it. I'll enjoy it. It's good. Fantastic stuff. I'm more focused on what's going on between the goblins than I am Spider-Man right now. And that's kind of sad when you really think about it. No matter who's wearing the suit, Spider-Man should be the main focus of the book. When you're more interested in what's going on between the villains, there's a problem. It's a solid read for what it was. I'm actually gonna give it props for this once. I would still stand here and bitch about how I want Peter back, but the stuff between the Green Goblin and the Hobgoblin was pretty entertaining to me. Moving on to DC, we're going to start off with Aquaman, number 27. Jeff Parker, Paul Pelletier. Well played. And I say to anybody who is going to try catching up with Aquaman in the New 52, starting in issue 1 to now, read these 27 issues, including the annual. And I dare you to call Aquaman a joke now, especially after reading this issue. This issue sees Aquaman as a bit of a badass, and I love it. Fantastic stuff. Aquaman's doing shit that I usually see Superman do. This is awesome. This right here was a good example of Aquaman kicking some ass. Pure and simple. Storytelling was there. It was good. Turns out Aquaman's doing something he shouldn't really be doing, according to other members of Atlantis who show up there. I'm not going to give everything away. All I'm going to say is, I dare you to call Aquaman a goddamn joke now. Just fantastic stuff. Good action. Good drama. Awesome. Just pure awesome. I loved it. I loved it. Alright, moving on to Batman and Robin Annual number 2. The original dynamic duo is here. Peter Tomasi and Doug Mahnke. Doug Mahnke is given main credit, but Patrick Gleason does do some interior artwork in here. It's getting warm in here. I think that light shining down on me is starting to burn me up. But no, this is not what you think it is. This is a flashback issue. We're flashing back to Dick Grayson's very first week or so as Robin. Turns out in this universe, in the New 52 universe, he was well in his teens when he first became Robin. Because in the prior universe, he was like 8, 9, 10 years old, I believe. I believe he was like somewhere between 10 or 12. I don't know. I don't remember the exact age when he first became Robin. But here, it's stated he was 16 years old when he first became Robin. And here's a shocker. At first, him and Batman did not get along. You know, it's like they weren't just, you know, Batman and his old chum Robin, and it wasn't like that. According to this book, when Dick first became Robin, there was tension between him and Bruce. They didn't get along that well at all. There were times where Bruce just flat out talked down to him like he was a spoiled child, which kind of he was. You know, his attitude and everything, he kind of seemed a little arrogant, a little cocky and everything. He always kept saying, nothing makes me nervous, I can do this, I can do this. And I guess Bruce was worried that he might get a little too arrogant. It would make his fighting sloppy, it would cloud his judgment and everything. And, you know, he's right to think that way, because Dick does do some pretty reckless shit in here, but in the end, he does prove himself to Bruce, and he does make a good sidekick, obviously. But the way this book ends was really, woo, nice. You know, when Dick first became Robin, one of their first big enemies was a guy called Tusk, and he's an ugly motherfucker. But once they dealt with Tusk, it turns out he became a real thorn in Robin's side. You know, Tusk was one of their enemies that mainly focused on Robin rather than Batman. And at the end, turns out Damian left a gift for Dick Grayson. And Dick finally opens it at the end. And I loved what the present was. And I loved reading the letter that Damian attached to it. I was like, ooh, you little bastard. This was really good stuff. I don't know if it was necessarily worth $5 or not, but it was a fun read. It was entertaining. It was nice to see a flashback story to the days of the original dynamic duo. It was good for what it was. I enjoyed it. Moving on to Batman the Dark Knight number 27. Sometimes you don't need words to tell a good story. That's all I'm going to say. This was good. See that? I'm going to say something about this, but first, you're up. Oh God. You knew I had to make an appearance on here. I had to. Now I know that he's going to want to say a few things about this, but I got to give my 2 cents in. God damn it. I've got to talk about this. Earth 2, Annual number 2. Oh my God. Tom Taylor. I want to buy you a drink, man. I want to buy you a cigarette, whatever the hell you're into, a prostitute. No, I'm not going that far. No. I'm not spending that much money. But I just want to buy you something. I want to buy you some candy or something. I don't know what the fuck I want to do. But I just want to thank you. I want to thank you, dude. You fucking incredible writer. This was good. This was good. The origin of the new Earth 2 Batman. Damn it, I went into this expecting something and got a whole other fucking thing else. And it was incredible. I fucking loved it. This was great. Goddamn, son of a bitch. Another random curse word that I could spit out. I don't know what the fuck to say. I don't know what I'm gonna do. This was incredible. This is by far one of the best goddamn issues of Earth 2 I've ever read. Fucking incredible, fucking awesome. I need a drink. Now you can talk. I'm out of here. You can tell he's really excited about that, can't you? But yeah, he has every right to geek out like that. I want to geek out like that. He was right. This was, oh my God. I know a lot of people were complaining that DC may have already spoiled this with like action figure advertisements or whatever. I didn't see them, so I honestly went into this not knowing what the hell I was going to see. And when I saw what I saw in here, when they were finally revealed who this Batman was, I was legitimately surprised. Because I had several different thoughts as to who it could be, and it turned out being somebody I didn't expect it to be. Hell, even the book teased me with another possibility as to who it could be. And it still swerved that out of the way and gave us the twist reveal on who Batman really was. I was thinking it was going to be, minor spoiler here, I was thinking it was going to be maybe Jim Gordon. Nope. I was thinking maybe it was going to be one of the Robins, either Dick or Jason. No, because if it was Jason Todd, then it would have made perfect sense for the guy to, for him to blow the Joker's brains out a few issues back. But no, it wasn't Jason either. I was thinking they were probably going to make a cop-out and say Bruce faked his death. No, it's not Bruce. Then all those guesses were wrong, and then I thought they were going somewhere else. Because they teased it being another certain person who was close to the Waynes. But then, even that swerve turned into another swerve. And then they finally made the big reveal, and I'm like, oh my God, this was good. This was really, really good. I don't know why some people are saying about this, because this was fucking awesome. Talk about a book that swerves you and swerves you. It kept my attention. It kept me entertained. I couldn't wait to turn the next page and find out more and find out more. I couldn't wait to look at that one panel that finally revealed who it was. That's what makes this book work. It kept me drawn in. It kept me wanting to keep reading. It kept me wanting to see who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? That's when a comic book truly works, when you can't take your eyes off of it as you're reading it. Because sometimes you'll get distracted or something like that. No, you've got to see. You've got to read it. You've got to know what it is. This was incredible. I fucking loved it. I'm not going to spoil it anything else. This was amazing. Thank you, Mr. Taylor. Thank you, DC, for such an awesome read. To me, this is well worth $5. Several different annuals came out for DC this week. I had 3 of them. If I made a suggestion, spend $5 on this. I think there were like 4 annuals out this week. If I had to recommend one of them, it'd be this. But that's just me. It was awesome. Moving on to The Flash, number 27. This is getting better. The artwork, the interior artwork was much better than it was in the last issue. Damn, it's hot in here. That light's beaming down on me like that. I'm going to drink some cold ice water when I get done with this. But this right here, the interior artwork is getting much better. The storytelling is a little bit better than it was in the last issue. You know, Barry he stops a jewel thief, he stops a jewel heist that is kind of ridiculous, and everybody in here actually points that out, including the thieves themselves. You know, Barry quickly deals with them, but accidentally uncovers another cold case involving a serial killer. They think it's a certain someone who's been locked up in jail, but it turns out he may have had an associate. And one of the victims that he connected, he went through evidence and he did investigating himself, and he found out that this killer could be his mother's killer. And he's doing everything he can to find out who killed his mother so he could get his dad off the hook. But the stuff that involved him, the conversation between Barry and his dad when he went to go visit his dad in prison was really compelling. I want to know what the hell's going on there. Barry's trying to tell him the good news, and his dad's like, stop it, I don't want to hear anything. And he seems like, now, as soon as he brought that subject up, his dad was like, whoa, I gotta go. You know, some stuff like that. It was very nicely done. The emotional aspect of this storytelling, of this particular plot, is really intriguing. and really entertaining stuff to read. I really enjoyed it. And Barry decides to do something that he may not see as ethically right, but he feels like it's something he absolutely has to do. And that's where we get to the big cliffhanger at the end that made me just go, whoa! I'm like, where the fuck are they going from here? This was good. Fantastic read. I enjoyed it. Moving along to Green Lantern Corps Annual number 2. Not much to say about this one. Jensen and Venditti do their best with this. This is basically the Corps dealing with the Durlans. I'm probably butchering the name of that race, but it's the race of beings that can like shapeshift and everything. It's the race of aliens that shapeshifted into Hal Jordan and made that big public announcement that the Green Lantern Corps is the real threat and everything. This is basically the Green Lanterns and actually some of their own enemies coming together to try and deal with them. You know, it's one of those... I've seen stories like this before where good guys and bad guys come together because they see a common enemy. And it's like, you know, truce for now, but once this is done, we're back to being enemies. I've seen stuff like this dozens and dozens of times. But call me crazy. For this, it actually worked. I was entertained. I like to know where this is going. You know, was this worth $5? In my opinion, no. You know, for the storytelling we got in here, I was satisfied. I just think it dragged on just a little bit, and I think the price is a little outrageous. But for what it wasn't all bad. I thought it was really nicely done. I liked the cliffhanger. The cliffhanger is setting us up into the next story. I commend them for that. This was actually pretty good. Not that bad. It's well above average, but nowhere near perfect. Just take it for that. We're going to end this review with Red Lanterns number 27. Yeah, this actually happens. Guy finds Ice, and they get back together to do some talking. They're not back together as in a relationship, but they need to try and talk things out. First thing I want to point out is Ice kind of looks like a guy on the cover. I don't like the way her face is drawn. But this was actually really good. You know, Rancor and Bleez are off to do a mission that Guy assigned them to, and I'm not going to give that away. But Guy takes 2 other fellow Red Lanterns to Earth. He's going to track down Ice and talk to her and everything. Ratchet, unfortunately, is indeed been killed off. And his ring went to go find a new bearer. You know, but the 2 Red Lanterns that went to Earth with Guy run into a certain someone, and they have, they have a little bit of a misunderstanding. Let's say that. It's nice, and it's nice to see that these Red Lanterns have something else other than their rings to fight with. Let's just say that. I'm not going to give that much away. You know, the stuff between Guy and Ice was really, really entertaining. The drama was all there. But it's at the end of the book. This is another one of those times where I thought they were going a certain somewhere, and then we went somewhere else. I was thinking the new ring was going to find a certain someone, and the cliffhanger suggests, nope, it found this certain someone, and that's where I'm going to leave. That's where I'm going to leave this. This was a solid read. I loved it. It was good. Still, I don't know why so many people are hating on Red Lanterns. It's a great series. It's really, really underrated. I think you should jump on board with this. This has been really good. And I can't wait for that double issue with the Green Lanterns. This is going to be some really, really good stuff. Trust me. I mean, yeah, it hasn't been a perfect series, but it's better than some of the other shit that's out there on the DC market right now. This was a solid read. Very enjoyable, very entertaining. The action was really good. The twists were really good, especially the cliffhanger. Fantastic stuff. I loved it. Well, that's all I got for this week, everybody. Thanks for listening to me rant. Thanks for listening to my Earth 2 counterpart rant. Even though that was more of a tremendously huge geek out. Please subscribe to this channel. Don't forget my Blue Goblin X channel. If you're at my Blue Goblin X channel, check out my first episode of Nerd Wrestling Review with my friend Rob the Terrible. And I don't know when they're coming back, but my student, the Mount Vernon kid, has told me that the Midtown Comics stash reviews will soon be coming back. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to seeing what he's got for me. My girlfriend and I are currently filming videos for our Arkham Asylum Studio channel, so go subscribe to that channel because we got some new stuff coming up for that. Don't forget about all my friends at Dark Avenger Inc. Plus, Mark and Chloe at Fast Stack of Comics, my old buddies Deadpoolzilla and Brandon Hex. Thanks for watching, everybody, and thanks to Arkham Comics for the books, as always. Until next time, everybody, I'll see y'all later.